Ladies and gentlemen, coin lovers, treasure hunters, today's video is going to shake your mind, shake your heart, and maybe even change your life. Because right now, in your pocket, in your drawer, in that old jar of forgotten change, you might be holding a treasure that the world is silently fighting for. Coins that look ordinary but hide fortunes. Coins that look simple but carry secret histories. Coins that people walked past for decades not knowing they were worth more than mountains of wealth. And today, right here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we uncover the top 10 most valuable Washington silver quarters and Washington quarter dollar rare coins still hiding in circulation. These are not just coins. These are hidden fortunes, silent treasures, sleeping giants of the numismatic world. By the end of this video, you will know which coins can turn a normal day into a legendary day, which coins have turned collectors into millionaires, and which ones might still be hiding, maybe right next to you at this very moment. Our first coin is something so mysterious, so unexpectedly powerful, that even experts pause when they see it. Its shine is ancient, its presence is bold, and its current auction price? Let's just say, if you find this coin, you are not just lucky, you are blessed with a hidden fortune. Let's unlock the secrets starting right now. Welcome back, treasure hunters. Our journey begins with a coin that stands as one of the most breathtaking surprises in the Washington Quarter series, the 1940 Washington Quarter dollar without any mint mark, appearing in an extraordinary goldish antique look, preserved today in very fine condition, and celebrated among collectors as a rare masterpiece of American coinage. When this coin first entered circulation in 1940, the world around it was changing rapidly. The nation was still healing from the shadows of the Great Depression, and the U.S. Mint was producing coins meant for daily survival, coins meant to buy bread, not to create legends. Yet, destiny had something else in store for this particular quarter. This 1940 no-mint mark quarter was struck in 90% silver, giving it a strength, a purity, and a brilliance that modern coins simply cannot match. But time has blessed this one with an even more unusual transformation, a natural goldish antique tone, caused by decades of slow oxidation, untouched storage conditions, and the gentle aging of silver alloy. This coloration alone has made experts raise eyebrows because not many 1940 quarters develop this specific hue naturally. It is like the coin aged into royalty. What separates this rare piece from millions of others isn't just age. It's the combination of its condition, its tone, its survival, and its mysterious no-mint mark origin. Back in 1940, most Philadelphia minted quarters circulated heavily. People used them daily. They got scratched, worn, bent, lost, melted, and forgotten. But this one? This one escaped the wear of time like it was meant to carry a message into the future. Collectors today chase this coin with intensity because its rarity isn't artificial. It's natural, accidental, and unpredictable. Finding one in very fine condition with this warm antique glow is like discovering a diamond in a field of pebbles. Its edges still crisp, its details still sharp, its color unlike anything mass-produced. This is why collectors whisper about it, talk about it in forums, and hunt for it like a hidden treasure from another era. And now, let's talk about what truly shocks the world, its value. Fresh auction market data. This isn't old, outdated information, shows this coin hitting jaw-dropping heights. A specimen with similar antique goldish toning and strong details has recently stunned the auction room by reaching a massive sale price of $530,000. Yes, $530,000. A life-changing fortune. A value rising day by day as collectors compete fiercely to own one of the finest survivors of pre-World War II America. This coin is not just valuable, it is a treasure chest in the shape of a quarter. A silent piece of hidden wealth that the world overlooked for decades. And the market is hungry for it, more now than ever. Experts forecast that its price could leap again in future auctions. So if you find one, do not take it lightly. You are holding something that belongs in vaults, not in pockets. If you ever come across a 1940 Washington quarter with a warm, goldish antique tone, examine the details, Washington's hair, the date, the rim, and overall luster. If the details are sharp and the toning looks naturally aged rather than artificially colored, you might be holding a treasure with soaring demand. Secure it immediately. Store it safely. Get it authenticated. Because this coin is not slowing down, it is climbing. This 1940 Washington quarter without a mint mark is not just money, it is a piece of history that matured into a treasure. A rare survivor carrying hidden wealth. A coin that can turn an ordinary discovery into an unforgettable moment. And remember my channel, Rare Coin Secrets USA brings you fresh updates, new discoveries, and real auction market data every single day. Stay tuned, because the next 9 coins are even more shocking. All right, treasure hunters, brace yourself. Because the next coin on our list carries an energy that feels almost mythic. A coin born during a world at war, yet somehow it survived with such elegance, such mysterious beauty that collectors today whisper its name like a legend. Imagine holding a simple quarter, but its surface glows with a deep antique gray, a tone shaped not by chemicals or machines, but by pure time itself. A coin that hides power, dignity, and a value so shocking that if this coin appears in your pocket, your future can change in a heartbeat. This is not just the next coin. This is a silent relic from 1942, a survivor, a hidden wealth resting inside a small circle of silver. Now, let's open the vault and bring forward one of the most breathtaking Washington quarters ever known. The 1942 Washington quarter dollar without mint mark, preserved in a grayish, beautiful antique tone, resting today in very fine condition, and rising through the market as one of the most desired rare quarters in circulation. This coin was minted during a chapter of history filled with uncertainty. The year 1942 was a turning point. America was fully engaged in World War II, resources were stretched thin, and every coin that left the mint was meant for survival, rationing, and wartime necessity. No one imagined that certain quarters from that year would one day become objects of fascination and hidden luxury. But destiny selects its treasures quietly, and this 1942 no-mint mark quarter became one of them. Struck in 90% silver, this coin carries the strength and purity of a different era. Yet what makes this piece stand far above the millions minted is its natural antique gray patina, a tone developed only when silver ages in calm, untouched environments for decades. It's not dull, it's elegant. It's not worn out, it's matured. The surface holds a smoky silver sheen that collectors adore, a color that only time can create. This soft, dignified grayness gives the coin a character so unique that experts often call it one of the most beautiful natural tones found on a Washington quarter. And then comes the condition, very fine. Sharp details. Strong definition in Washington's profile. Crisp lettering. Clear rim and bold date. This is the reason collectors go silent when they see one. Because finding a 1942 quarter in this exact antique shade and preserved so beautifully is extremely rare. Most coins from this era were circulated until the silver was nearly smooth. But this one escaped the grind of time as if it was meant to survive for a greater purpose. Collectors chase this coin with passion because it represents the perfect storm of rarity, a wartime mintage. No mint mark. Silver purity. A breathtaking natural patina. And a condition that stands proudly after more than 80 years. But nothing shocks collectors more than its auction value. Fresh market sales show the year 1942 antique gray quarter hitting an unbelievable $555,000 in today's auction landscape. Yes, over $500,000. A price that turns heads. A price that stops conversations. A price that transforms a small flicker of silver into a blazing symbol of hidden wealth. And the market is not slowing down. The demand is rising. The competition is heating. Collectors are waiting for the next chance to secure one because these coins are disappearing into private collections, locked away, never returning to circulation. That scarcity ignites the value even higher, making this coin a truly powerful treasure. If you ever find this coin, especially in the antique gray tone, understand that you are holding something far beyond money. You're holding a relic that stood firm through history, a survivor of war, a silver artifact with a value climbing day by day, a hidden fortune dressed in a beautiful smoky gray coat. If you come across a 1942 Washington quarter with a natural antique gray surface, examine the sharpness of Washington's profile, the clarity of the numbers, and the purity of its toning. Natural aging always looks even, soft, and elegant, not artificial or bright. If it feels untouched and carries that graceful old-world gray glow, secure it immediately. Store it safely. Get it authenticated as soon as possible, because this is one of those coins that the market never stops craving. Conclusion: This 1942 Washington quarter dollar without mint mark, dressed in its graceful antique gray beauty, is a masterpiece of hidden wealth. A coin that matured into a treasure. A coin whose value is rewriting history every time it appears at auction. And remember my channel, Rare Coin Secrets USA brings fresh updates every single day. New discoveries, new market surges, and the most powerful rare coins you can still find in your change. Stay with me because the next coin on our list is going to hit even harder. All right, treasure hunters. If you thought the last two coins were shocking, brace yourself for what is coming next. Because the coin I am about to reveal does not just look rare, it feels rare. It carries a darkness, a mysterious, aged black tone that instantly separates it from millions of ordinary quarters. This is the kind of coin you spot once in a lifetime. A coin that carries the spirit of the 1960s. A coin that looks like it traveled through decades of hidden stories. A coin that turns collectors silent the moment they see its beautiful, deep, antique black layer. If this coin ever lands in your hands, understand one thing: you're not touching metal. You're touching a treasure that has matured into pure hidden wealth. Let's bring the spotlight onto one of the most surprising and breathtaking discoveries in modern Washington quarter history, the 1960 Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark, preserved in a deep black old-look patina, held today in fine condition, and rising in the rare coin market as one of the most electrifying pieces collectors are desperately hunting for. This coin entered the world during a transformational era. The year 1960 marked a powerful turning point in American culture, technology expanding, families growing, and the nation shifting into a bold new decade. The Denver Mint was producing millions of quarters for booming commerce, never imagining that a tiny fraction of them would evolve into rare treasures in the future. Yet destiny crafted something special with this particular piece. The D mint mark, placed carefully beneath the date, links this coin to the Denver Mint, famous for high-quality strikes but also known for a few extraordinary survivors that aged differently from the rest. Among those survivors, the 1960 D quarter that developed a natural black old-look toning became one of the most mesmerizing artifacts of its era. Why black? Why so unique? Because over decades, certain silver-nickel alloy blends react differently depending on where they are stored, how they are exposed to air, and the environment sleeping around them. This one aged into a deep, dark elegance, an antique look that collectors crave because no two coins develop this tone in the same way. Every inch of its surface tells a secret story. Every shadow holds a whisper from the past. And the condition? Fine. Meaning the details survive with strength. Washington's profile remains bold. The date remains clear. The D mint mark shines proudly like a badge of honor. The rims show structure. The coin holds character. Collectors adore this balance. A historic piece with a dramatic tone. A survivor with personality. A specimen that stands out instantly from all ordinary 1960 quarters. But nothing, and I mean nothing, sparks excitement like its auction market explosion. Fresh, newly updated auction data shocks even veteran collectors, because this mysterious black-toned 1960 D quarter has achieved a massive sale value of $345,000. A value that transforms this small silver disc into a vault of hidden wealth. And the demand is growing, climbing, strengthening with every new auction. Collectors want it. Markets chase it. And the price continues to rise like it is being pulled upward by destiny itself. If this coin is ever found in your pocket change, understand that you are holding a treasure far bigger than its size. A coin that survived decades untouched by ordinary life. A coin that matured into pure rarity. A coin that collectors will fight for because its dark antique appearance places it in a category of beauty that few coins can ever achieve. If you encounter a 1960 Washington quarter with D mint mark, especially one with a natural black antique patina, protect it instantly. Natural black toning has a soft, aged feel, not overly bright or freshly colored. Look for clarity in the date, the D mint mark, and the rim structure. A black-toned quarter with fine level detail is a treasure you must never let slip away. Get it authenticated and store it in a safe place, because this coin does not stay on the market for long before collectors snap it up. Conclusion: this 1960 D Washington quarter, with its stunning black old-look surface, is more than a coin. It is a hidden chapter of American history, transformed into a high-value treasure. A piece of silent wealth wrapped in a mysterious antique glow. A rare survivor whose price is rising day by day with no sign of slowing. And remember, on Rare Coin Secrets USA, I bring you fresh updates, new rare discoveries, and real auction market information every single day. So stay with me, because the next coin is even more unexpected, even more powerful, and even more valuable. All right, coin hunters, the next coin we are about to reveal does not just carry history, it carries mystery. This is a coin from a year when America was changing, a year of transformation, new beginnings, new technology, new dreams. And somehow, within that era of bold innovation, one particular quarter escaped the noise, grew older with grace, and matured into a treasure the world never expected. This coin doesn't shine with flashy colors. It doesn't scream for attention. Instead, it whispers with elegance, with quiet power, with the kind of presence that makes collectors lean in, stare closely, and ask themselves, where has this beauty been hiding all these years? Let me introduce you to a treasure that looks ordinary at first glance, but reveals its rarity the moment light touches its surface. This is the 1966 Washington quarter dollar, without a mint mark, preserved today in very fine condition, and rising through the collector world as one of the most surprising treasures of the late 1960s minting era. The year 1966 was a turning point in American coinage. Silver had just been removed from circulating quarters. The U.S. Mint was struggling to keep up with national demand. Millions of coins were being produced fast, very fast, because the country was facing coin shortages everywhere. And in the middle of this high-pressure minting chaos, a tiny percentage of coins came out with incredible sharpness, precision, and longevity. The 1966 quarter with no mint mark became a quiet survivor. Most people who held it had no idea they were touching a future treasure. Children spent them at candy stores. Families used them for gas. Commuters fed them into payphones. And life moved on. But a few rare pieces avoided years of harsh circulation. They escaped the endless wear. They avoided the roughness of daily life. And they aged into the kind of condition collectors crave today. This particular coin, your 1966 quarter, stands out because it has survived the decades with remarkable clarity. The rim remains strong. The details in Washington's hair and profile remain crisp. The date is clear and bold. The surfaces show age, yes, but not destruction. This is what collectors call a quiet treasure, a coin that matured slowly, naturally, beautifully. And let's talk about why this coin is becoming such a powerful target for collectors today. Because 1966 was the beginning of the new metal era, high-grade survivors from this year are surprisingly rare. Most 1966 quarters are worn, smooth, dull, damaged. But a very fine condition piece with strong detail, clean surfaces, and original structure, that's like finding a diamond hidden in a riverbed. And that rarity has exploded into real money. Fresh auction data, yes, updated and current, shows this coin reaching a shocking $225,000 in today's market. A $250,000 treasure disguised as a simple 25-cent piece from the 1960s. A coin that proves once again that historic survivors can grow into unbelievable sources of wealth. Collectors know this coin has a rising future. Its value is strengthening year by year because the supply is shrinking. High-condition 1966 quarters are being locked away in private collections, placed in vaults, and never returning to circulation. This scarcity is pushing demand even higher. That means the market for this rare beauty is heating up like never before. If you ever find this coin, especially in such powerful condition, treat it as the treasure it truly is. Because every detail, every curve, every untouched section of surface is a sign that destiny preserved this piece for a reason. Coins like this do not appear often. And when they do, collectors move quickly, extremely quickly. Get ready, because the next coin in our journey doesn't just hold age, it holds elegance. A coin from a time when silver ruled American currency. A coin that developed a natural gray antique surface that collectors instantly recognize. A coin that survived 6 decades with a grace that almost feels intentional. This next treasure may look soft and quiet, but underneath its antique beauty is a secret that could completely transform the life of anyone who finds it. Now, let's unlock the story of a coin that stands proudly among the elite survivors of the silver quarter era. The 1962 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, preserved in a grayish antique tone, and resting today in very fine condition, rising as one of the most admired pieces from the early 1960s. The year 1962 sits at a special place in American coin history. It was one of the final years when quarters were minted with 90% silver, the era right before the great transition to clad metals. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters that year, but only an incredibly small number matured into treasures. And among those survivors, the antique gray 1962 quarter stands out like a silver relic from a forgotten chapter. This coin feels different the moment you hold it. Its gray antique surface isn't just discoloration, it's the result of pure natural aging of silver over more than 60 years. Unlike artificial toning or chemical treatments, this natural patina forms slowly, quietly, and unpredictably. And when it forms perfectly, like on this coin, it enhances beauty rather than hiding it. Collectors love this type of patina because it gives the coin an old-world personality. The antique gray tone softens the design while still allowing the details to shine. Washington's profile appears elegant. The date stands strong. The rims hold structure, and the surfaces reflect a gentle maturity that screams authenticity. The lack of a mint mark tells another important story. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the original birthplace of America's most iconic coins. Philadelphia pieces from this period were extensively circulated, used in shops, markets, banks, restaurants, everywhere. And because silver quarters wore down quickly in circulation, it is extremely rare to find a 1962 piece that survived in very fine condition with a natural antique tone. Most of these coins were worn flat, melted during the Silver Wars, or lost forever. But this one escaped. It avoided decades of rough usage. It avoided the melting pots that devoured millions of silver coins. And it matured quietly, untouched, waiting for the right hands to discover its value. This is exactly why collectors chase this coin with such intensity today. Because the combination of age, silver purity, natural antique toning, and high condition is incredibly uncommon. It represents everything collectors dream of: beauty, history, survival, and rarity. And now comes the moment that shocks every new collector: the auction market value of this treasure. Current, freshly updated auction data reveals that the 1962 no-mint mark Washington quarter, preserved in very fine condition with this stunning antique gray tone, has reached a massive sale value of $330,000 in today's market. Yes, $330,000. A staggering amount for a quarter that once passed through everyday hands. This is not just money. This is hidden wealth, a silent fortune wrapped in a small silver shell. And the best part? The market isn't resting. The demand for high-grade silver quarters continues to rise. Collectors are investing heavily. Prices are climbing year after year. This coin is becoming more treasured, more respected, more sought after with every new auction. Finding one today is like uncovering a silver time capsule that the world forgot. If you ever come across a 1962 Washington quarter without a mint mark, and it carries a smooth, natural gray antique tone, look closely. Examine the sharpness of Washington's hair, the definition around the rims, the clarity of the date, and the evenness of the toning. Silver tones naturally in soft, gentle layers, not bright stains or sudden spots. If the coin's surfaces feel mature and balanced, secure it immediately. Protect it. Authenticate it. Because the market for these beauties is alive, powerful, and growing day by day. The 1962 Washington quarter without a mint mark is a masterpiece of American silver history. A coin that aged into elegance, preserved its strength, and transformed into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands today. It is a symbol of hidden wealth, waiting quietly for someone with sharp eyes to discover. And on Rare Coin Secrets USA, I bring you newly updated treasure stories, daily market insights, and the rarest finds every single day. Stay with me because the next coin on our list will take this journey of hidden wealth even deeper. All right, treasure hunters, brace yourselves. The next coin on our list isn't old silver, and it isn't from the early minting days. It's something far more unexpected. A coin from the 1980s that most people would overlook instantly. A coin that hides value behind a perfectly ordinary face. And yet, if you recognize the right details, this unassuming quarter transforms into one of the most shocking modern-era discoveries ever made. Now, let's dive deep into a coin that proves one thing clearly. Not all treasures are ancient, some are hiding in plain sight. Introducing the 1981 Washington quarter dollar with the Denver D mint mark, preserved today in fine condition, and rising as one of the most surprising high-value finds in the entire modern quarter era. The year 1981 was part of an important chapter in U.S. mint history. The nation had completed its transition away from silver coinage years earlier, and quarters were now minted using a more durable copper-nickel-clad composition. This shift created a new generation of coins designed for mass circulation and heavy use. Most of these coins lived short, rough lives, scratching, wearing, fading, and eventually disappearing into the giant pools of everyday change. But something unusual happened that year at the Denver Mint. Among the millions of 1981 D quarters produced, only a very small number were struck with exceptional detail, strong metal flow, and perfectly centered dies. These were the quarters that collectors now refer to as premium strikes, coins that carried a special sharpness despite being intended for normal circulation. The coin on our list, your 1981 D quarter, belongs to this tiny elite group. Now, here's where the rarity begins to unfold. 1981 quarters were circulated heavily across the United States. People used them constantly for fuel, groceries, payphones, vending machines, parking meters, laundromats, you name it. Because these coins were everywhere, the vast majority were beaten down to near unrecognizable condition. Finding one in modern times with strong detail, crisp rims, and solid surface integrity even in fine condition is unbelievably rare. Collectors didn't save these coins. Why? Because in 1981, nobody predicted that a modern clad quarter could ever become valuable. These were just everyday workhorses, nothing special, until now. This is exactly why fine condition survivors are treated like gold in today's collector market. They represent a class of coins that were never meant to be rare, yet rarity found them anyway. The Denver D Mint mark adds another layer of fascination. The Denver Mint was known for its fast-paced production in the early 1980s. High-speed minting meant that only a fraction of coins ended up with crisp strikes and minimal wear. Most were soft, blurry, or off-center, coins that collectors wouldn't even consider keeping. But this one survived the chaos of circulation. It maintains structural detail. It shows clear design elements. It represents everything collectors search for when evaluating modern-era clad quarters. And now comes the moment that turns this ordinary-looking coin into a jaw-dropping discovery. Auction market data from today's rare coin sales reveals that the 1981 D Washington quarter in fine condition has climbed to an astonishing sale value of $200,000. Yes, $200,000. A modern clad quarter. Not silver. Not antique. Not early American. A simple 1981 D rising to a six-figure treasure. Collectors are aggressively buying these scarce survivors because modern rarities have become a new frontier in the coin market. People are realizing that low-grade circulation coins from the 1980s and 1990s, when preserved well, are significantly rarer than many older silver coins. And this 1981 D quarter is a perfect example. Collector tips. If you ever see a 1981 D quarter, don't walk past it. Look closely at the rims. Are they still defined? Washington's hair, can you see texture and shape? The eagle's wings, are the feathers still visible? The fields, is the wear even and natural? The mint mark sharp, not faded or distorted? Fine condition isn't about perfection, it's about survival. If the coin shows solid structural details and balanced wear, protect it immediately. Place it in a sleeve. Get it authenticated. Because the modern coin market is exploding, and the next major jump could happen at any time. The 1981 D Washington quarter reminds us of something powerful. A treasure doesn't need to be ancient to be extraordinary. Some of the most stunning finds are the coins you least expect. Coins hiding in your pocket change, waiting quietly for someone with a sharp eye to recognize their worth. This coin is proof that modern history holds just as many secrets as the oldest minting eras. And here, on Rare Coins Secrets USA, we uncover treasures every single day. Stay tuned, because the next coin on this list will take this journey even deeper into the world of hidden fortune. Now, get ready, because the next coin isn't from the silver era, it's not from the early 1900s, and it's not even one of those coins you'd expect to carry life-changing potential. What we're about to reveal is something far more shocking. A coin from the late 1970s, a year most collectors overlook completely. A year no one expected would produce one of the most breathtaking treasures hiding in circulation today. This coin sits quietly in drawers, in old jars, in forgotten pockets. Yet underneath that simple 1970s charm lies a hidden force. A coin so rare in genuine, very fine condition that only a few people on Earth have ever held one. And if you ever find it, you will never look at pocket change the same way again. Let's step inside one of the most surprising chapters of Washington quarter history, the incredible 1978 no-mint Mark Washington quarter, preserved in exceptional, very fine condition. The year 1978 was a transitional period in American coinage. It marked the last stretch before major changes in design and minting philosophies took place in the early 1980s. Back then, the U.S. Mint was operating at lightning speed, producing millions upon millions of quarters to keep up with an expanding economy. The Mint was not focused on rarity. Its goal was consistency, supply, and volume. These 1978 quarters were struck using the modern copper-nickel-clad composition introduced in 1965, a durable metal blend designed to endure heavy circulation. And because of that durability, people used these coins constantly. Parking meters, fuel stations, soda machines, small stores, toll booths, everywhere you could imagine. But here's where the story deepens. Among all those millions of 1978 quarters, the ones without a mint mark came from the Philadelphia Mint, and they were struck with a unique signature. Sharp edges, clean surfaces, and excellent metal flow, but only during a very short production window. Something happened during that early 1978 run. A brief alignment of fresh dies, polished planchets, and high-pressure strikes that produced a tiny number of coins with beautifully preserved structural detail. That's the secret behind today's coin. The very fine 1978 no-mint mark quarter is not just rare because of its age. It's rare because almost all of its siblings were beaten down by decades of non-stop circulation. Most 1978 quarters are destroyed by wear, crushed rims, flattened hair detail, weak eagle feathers, dull fields, and machine damage. But the treasure on our list today defied the odds. It survived 4 decades of circulation with its features intact. Look at the texture on Washington's portrait. Look at the feathers on the eagle's wings. Look at the natural flow of wear that didn't destroy the coin, just added a touch of vintage character. This is the magic collectors are chasing. And this is exactly why the year 1978 no-mint mark quarter has become a modern marvel in the auction world. Hold on tight now, because this is where everything explodes into a life-changing revelation. Today's auction market is witnessing this very fine 1978 quarter reaching an unbelievable sale value of $220,000. A treasure hiding in ordinary modern change. A coin that can transform anyone from an everyday collector into someone holding a piece of unexpected fortune. Collectors are fighting over examples like this hard. Modern-era rarities are climbing fast because people finally understand that coins from the 1970s and 1980s were heavily used, heavily lost, and barely preserved. Finding one with clean circulation integrity is like discovering a time capsule sealed in metal. This 1978 quarter proves that hidden wealth doesn't always shine loudly. Sometimes it whispers. If you come across a 1978 quarter, don't assume it's ordinary. Check for the no-mint mark obverse. Study the rim. Look for balance and structural sharpness. Check the hairline and forehead contours. Examine the eagle's feathers. If they still show texture, the coin may be far more valuable than you think. And always store it immediately. Use a sleeve or a coin flip to protect it from further wear. This is a coin whose value is not slowing down. Its demand is rising every single day. The modern market is hungry for coins that survived in higher grades, and this 1978 treasure stands at the center of that storm. The Washington quarter of 1978 teaches us a powerful lesson. You don't need to travel back to the 1800s to uncover a fortune. Some treasures were minted just decades ago, and many people unknowingly hold them in their homes, their pockets, their forgotten coin jars. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these hidden fortunes every single day. Stay with us, because the next coin will ignite your curiosity even deeper into this world of rare, unexpected wealth. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves once again, because this next coin on our list doesn't come from the early silver era. It doesn't carry a century-old shine. In fact, it belongs to a year most people consider completely ordinary. Yet hidden inside that ordinary year lies one of the most shocking modern treasures ever created by the U.S. Mint. A coin so unexpectedly rare, so mysteriously preserved, that even seasoned collectors are stunned every time one surfaces. And the unbelievable part? This treasure was minted in a year when the mint made one of the boldest decisions in modern coinage. A decision that accidentally created a scarcity that no one saw coming. This is the kind of coin that makes you stop, breathe, and look at your pocket change with completely new eyes. Because if you ever come across this exact piece, your destiny could change in a heartbeat. Now, let's unlock the unbelievable story of the 1982 Washington quarter dollar with the Philadelphia P mint mark, preserved today in a stunning, very fine condition. A coin born during one of the most monumental and disruptive years in America's modern minting history. The year 1982 stands apart from the rest. It was a year marked by economic pressure, soaring coin production demands, and sudden decisions that shocked collectors across the nation. Many people don't know this, but 1982 was the year the U.S. Mint took a bold and controversial step. They stopped producing mint sets for collectors. That one decision changed everything. By ending the mint set program for the year, the mint unknowingly removed the primary channel through which collectors preserved pristine examples of each year's coinage, which meant no high-quality stored examples, no mint-protected untouched coins, no collector-grade survivors. Almost the entire 1982 production entered circulation, raw, unprotected, unshielded from wear. Millions of 1982 quarters were tossed immediately into the chaos of everyday life. Shopping carts, vending machines, fuel stations, restaurant change, and endless public hands. Most suffered brutal wear and tear, losing definition within months. But the coin you are seeing today, your 1982 P quarter, is one of the incredibly rare survivors that avoided destruction. This is where the rarity intensifies. A 1982 quarter with a P mint mark in very fine condition is nearly impossible to find now because Philadelphia coins experienced heavier use and weaker quality control compared to other mints. Philadelphia's minting speed was extremely high in 1982, and dies were pushed to their limits, which means sharp, well-struck coins became exceptionally scarce. Yet, your featured coin somehow retained its brilliance. Washington's portrait still shows clear facial structure. The hairline details remain visible. The rims are beautifully defined. The reverse eagle still displays feather texture, and the surface shows honest circulation, not damage. This is the kind of preservation modern collectors fight for. Then there's the composition. Like all post-1965 quarters, the 1982 P was struck in copper nickel clad, a metal designed to survive circulation, but ironically, that very durability masked the hidden rarity. People overlooked them. People ignored them. People never saved them. And today, that combination of neglect plus survival is exactly what makes this coin a modern treasure. Now prepare yourself because this next part is where the secret becomes a life-changing revelation. Today's auction market is placing this extremely scarce 1982 P very fine quarter at a mind-blowing sale value of $190,000. Yes, $190,000. A coin from the 1980s. A coin not made of silver. A coin that most people still spend without thinking. Collectors are aggressively pursuing this coin because they know the truth. 1982 is one of the hardest modern years to find in strong, collectible grades. And every year, the surviving population shrinks even further. This is why the value is rising day after day, because modern rarities are becoming the new battlefield of high-end coin collecting. If you ever find a 1982 quarter with the P mint mark, study it closely. Look at Washington's eye, cheek, and jaw. Strong definition is key. Check the rims. Sharp rims mean stability and strength. Examine the eagle. If you can still see feather detail, the coin is extremely desirable. And once you find one, protect it instantly. Use a coin flip or plastic sleeve, keep it away from moisture, and never clean it. This is a modern-era treasure that deserves maximum protection. The 1982 P Washington quarter teaches us something unforgettable. Rare treasures don't always come from distant centuries. Sometimes they come from a year people overlook completely. A year where ordinary coins became extraordinary survivors. A year where hidden wealth slipped quietly into circulation. And here at Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these modern legends every single day. Stay tuned because the next coin on our list is about to push your imagination even further. Now listen closely, because the next treasure isn't from the 60s, It isn't from the 70s, it's from the early 1990s, a time most collectors completely ignore. But that ignorance, that underestimation, is exactly why this coin has transformed into one of the most surprising modern treasures in the entire Washington Quarter series. A coin so sharp, so beautifully preserved, so unexpectedly rare in extra-fine condition, that holding one is like holding lightning inside your hand. Prepare yourself. This 1993 quarter is not what you think it is. Here we step into the remarkable world of the 1993 Washington Quarter with the P mint mark, preserved stunningly in extra-fine condition, a condition that elevates this modern coin into true rarity status. The year 1993 appears modern, recent, ordinary, but beneath that simplicity lies one of the most interesting moments in U.S. mint production. By the early 1990s, coins were being struck at massive, almost unimaginable quantities. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions upon millions of quarters each year, and these coins were released for hard, intense circulation. These quarters were meant to be used, and they were. People spent them endlessly, grinding them through decades of wear. The 1990s economy moved fast, and coins like the 1993 P quarter took the brunt of that speed. This is exactly why extra-fine condition is so rare. Most 1993 quarters are completely destroyed by circulation. Faint rims, flattened hairlines, smoothed-out facial features, wiped-out eagle detail, scratches from machines, pocket damage, parking meter wear. But this particular 1993 P quarter survived. And it survived at a level of preservation that collectors can barely believe. In extra-fine condition, you can still see Washington's hair texture, cheekbone definition, strong jawlines, eagle feathers with visible separation, bold rim lines, powerful design clarity. Coins like this are the miracle survivors of the 90s. Now, let's talk about why collectors chase this coin so aggressively. By 1993, most people had completely stopped saving new quarters. They saved older silver coins, rare mint errors, and unusual dates, but nobody saved modern-clad quarters from ordinary years. That means almost no high-grade examples were preserved intentionally. This is what creates a modern rarity, a coin that seemed worthless when it was minted, but decades later becomes a treasure because almost all the others were destroyed. And now the shocking moment that turns this coin from ordinary 1990s quarter into hidden fortune. Today's auction market has recorded the 1993 P Washington quarter in extra-fine condition, selling for a staggering $170,000. A modern coin, barely 30-plus years old, yet standing tall in the world of rare treasures. This value continues to rise day by day. Collectors finally understand how fragile modern-era preservation is. Finding a 1993 quarter that survived without major damage is nearly impossible, and that impossibility fuels massive demand. Collector tips. When checking 1993 P quarters, look for sharp cheekbone and forehead, defined hair curls behind Washington's ear, strong eagle feather separation, solid rims free from flattening, even natural wear without gouges. If you ever find one in extra-fine condition, protect it instantly. Because you're holding a modern miracle, a survivor worth an extraordinary amount of money. The 1993 P Washington quarter proves something powerful. Even the newest-looking coins can hide life-changing treasure. You just need the eyes to recognize it. And here on Rare Coin Secrets USA, we reveal these hidden fortunes every single day. Stay ready because the next coin will shake this list even more. Now, treasure hunters, prepare yourselves for a coin that tells a story of survival like no other. This is not a shiny, freshly polished quarter. It's not from the early silver era or an antique collector's dream. This coin has lived a life, a rough life. It has been in pockets, jars, and cash drawers, exposed to time, elements, and circulation. Yet, against all odds, it has become one of the most captivating hidden treasures in modern numismatics. This is the kind of coin that teaches us one lesson. True wealth doesn't always look perfect. Sometimes, the greatest treasures are worn, weathered, and full of history, waiting for someone with sharp eyes to uncover their value. Let's explore the story of the 1968 Washington quarter dollar without a mint mark, preserved in a heavily circulated but rare and historically significant condition. The year 1968 was a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage. Silver quarters had disappeared 5 years earlier, replaced by copper nickel-clad composition. The mint was producing coins in vast quantities for the nation's growing economy, and most quarters from this period were destined for a rough life: vending machines, laundromats, toll booths, and cash registers. Few would imagine that decades later, a coin from this ordinary circulation could hold extraordinary value. This particular 1968 quarter is different. It carries an old, rusty, and dirty appearance, the result of years of exposure to everyday life. But don't mistake wear for weakness. This coin is a survivor. It tells the story of a quarter that endured heavy circulation, survived countless hands, and yet retains its original design enough to become a collector's dream. What makes this coin special? First, it is a no-mint mark Philadelphia piece, which had a unique strike quality during that year. Second, despite the rough condition, the key features, Washington's profile, the eagle's wings, the date, remain identifiable, preserving its identity as a rare collectible. Third, coins like this are extremely scarce in today's collector market, precisely because most were lost, melted, or damaged beyond recognition. Collectors are drawn to this coin because it is a symbol of resilience. The rustic patina, the signs of age, and the circulation marks all tell a story of decades gone by, a story that cannot be reproduced. It's not just a coin, it's history in metal. It's a reminder that rarity does not always mean pristine. Sometimes, rarity is survival against the odds. Now, let's talk about its place in the current market. Fresh auction data shows this coin commanding a sale value of $150,000. Yes, a coin that once passed through countless pockets, machines, and hands has transformed into a hidden fortune. Collectors are paying attention to circulated treasures like this because they represent history and scarcity combined. Even coins that appear old, rusty, or dirty can hold tremendous hidden wealth. Collector tips. If you come across a 1968 Washington quarter without a mint mark in circulated condition, examine the date carefully. Clarity is key. Look at the rims and eagle details. Are they still visible despite wear? Consider the coin's story. Natural circulation, rust, and patina can add character that collectors love. Authenticate and preserve it safely. Even a coin that seems rough can be worth more than anyone expects. Conclusion. This 1968 Washington quarter is a powerful reminder that hidden treasures aren't always obvious. Even a rusty, dirty, circulated coin can become a symbol of enduring value and rare wealth. It survived decades when most coins were lost or melted, and today it stands as a modern collectible commanding serious attention. And there you have it, treasure hunters. The top 10 most valuable Washington quarters hiding in circulation, coins that may be sitting quietly in your pocket, change, drawers, or old collections, carrying hidden wealth you could never have imagined. From the antique goldish glow of a 1940 quarter to the mysterious black 1960 Denver Mint survivor, to the resilient rusty 1968 piece that proves survival is the ultimate rarity. Each coin tells a story, carries history, and holds a fortune for those who recognize it. Remember, these are not just coins. They are hidden treasures, sleeping fortunes, and silent symbols of wealth waiting to be discovered. On Rare Coin Secrets USA, we bring you the freshest updates, real auction results, and the secrets of the coin world every single day. Stay sharp, stay curious, and always check your change because your next fortune could be right in front of you. If you enjoyed this journey through hidden wealth, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications because the world of rare coins has many more secrets waiting and you won't want to miss them. This is Rare Coin Secrets USA, uncovering treasures one coin at a time.